This episode is brought to you by the first warm day of summer. I'm sweaty.
This episode is also brought to you by soft-shelled tacos. I ate too many.
This is Real Garbage.
Summertime and the living's easy. I never took the time to learn the rest of the words. I'm gonna make them up just as I go. So then I'll just make up the own verse. See.
I was like trying to get a riff on that, and I was like, I don't know.
I know,
this
I'm
song.
like, I'm taking all four lines.
Yeah.
I only know summertime and the living's easy, and then summertime, just the chorus, basically. I've heard that song since I was like a kid, like a teenager.
When I think of summertime, I think of that. Oh God, I think it's Mungo Jerry, where it's like in the summertime when the weather is hot, you can fess right up and touch the spot. You got women on your mind.
Started a barbershop quartet.
Ooh,
I want to take popular rock songs and metal songs and pop songs
quartet
and turn them into quartet songs. Like
that would be fun.
Closer by Nine Inch Nails.
Oh my
I
God.
wanna fuck you like an
Animal.
animal. I wanna feel you on the inside. Ooh, yeah. It's the two voices in that.
I want. That. Oh my God, I'm down.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
Hey, y'all.
Hey y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome to.
You can't drink a hey y'all
Without
at least saying that.
Yeah. Welcome to our Rootin' Tootin' podcast,
We're doing it all.
where we root and toot your favorite movies.
We talk about movies we kind of like sometimes, and sometimes ones we don't.
We talk about moving picture. Oh, that's Bill Cosby. I hated that. Oh my God,
We
no.
talk about the moving pictures, and then we do with this and that. And then we go to the mess hall, and we get lunch, and then we drop the soap. Poor guy. He's
I
old.
hope so. Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard anything about him. Nothing.
Good.
I haven't heard one thing. I don't watch the news or anything anymore.
I don't either. Although I did download this app the other day called Murder Minute.
What?
And it's it tells
tell.
you about all the murders that are happening every minute. No,
Jesus. Seriously?
No.
Oh.
It's this kind of. It's this app
sort of.
where you get a free story about like a murderer or a serial killer once every day, and it's given to you in the form of like
You're
texting between yourself and like someone reporting this and giving you all the facts. And you can choose if you like just straight to the point stories, like you just like facts, or you can choose if you like the story behind it or a mix of both, and you can choose if you like gory or grotesque stories or just,
Seems quite macabre.
It is, but it's really interesting. Like I'll get a notification every day like you have one free murder minute story available, and I'm like, cool, who are we going to learn about today?
That's kind of neat. You get that every day.
Yeah.
I don't have any apps like that give me daily stuff.
I like it because, I mean, it is really macabre and not everyone's cup of tea. But if you're into that sort of thing, like, it's super cool getting a notification being like, what am I going to learn about today? Like, back in 2008, like, I knew about this before Murder Minute, but shout out to Murder Minute. I like your app.
Murder Minute. Download on the App Store.
Yeah, if you want.
We'll talk to them later.
Yeah. But in 2008, I grew up hearing about this because it happened on a Greyhound to an Edmonton man. Yeah,
it was
to Winnipeg.
right around Portage.
Yeah.
That's like 150 kilometers east of where I grew up.
Yeah, so
that was when I was in Alberta at the time.
Yeah.
Was it 08? Is that when it
yeah,
happened?
so
I used to ride the Greyhound from Medicine Hat to
that's
Brandon.
wild.
And I would fall asleep on it all the time. You get the 3 back seats in the back, boom,
Yeah.
out if you can.
And at first I was like, I don't want to like read about this. I grew up hearing about it, I was not there, but I was aware that it happened. It wasn't like
It happened in your lifetime. Like
Yes,
that's the crazy
yes.
thing. It's like, oh, I was somewhere when that happened. And
So-
it wasn't that far from me.
no. So and here we are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here we are.
No, but it's a free story. I'm not going to say no. So I was clicking through it and I learned stuff that I hadn't read about, which was wild. Like, I knew this guy was fucked up because he fucking killed someone on the Greyhound and decapitated him.
Head off. Yeah.
But
and walks around holding it.
Yeah. And what I didn't know, but know now, is that like the driver put on like the emergency stuff so he couldn't, like the murderer couldn't drive away. And some of the passengers and the driver, like forcibly with crowbars and other stuff that they had, kept the murderer inside the bus so that he couldn't escape, which is
scary.
So admirable. Like, that's the peak of fight or flight. Like, and these people were like, we're not letting this person off the bus.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild. And everyone, of course, wishes and says that, they could do that in that scenario, but you never know until it happens. So it's really wild to think that this group of people had like banded together and kept this psychopath on the bus to protect everyone else. Like,
I don't think I've ever been in a situation like a fight or flight situation like that. Like, I've had fights started with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty quick. Just get knocked out. I'm just kidding. I talked my way out. I'm like, listen, man, I don't want to fight. We're not fighting. I got jumped once. That sucked.
Ew.
I just eye gouged the dude till he started screaming. And he was screaming.
Bye, bitch.
Like him and 8 of his buddies, and I'm just backing up to my car. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get in the car now and leave, you crazy pieces of shit.
I think the closest I've ever been with fight or flight was a couple years ago when I went out for my birthday with my boyfriend, my best friend, and her boyfriend, which is my boyfriend's brother. And she has this like private parking garage that we always drive to town in. We have the parking garage, and that's where we wait when we call a cab home. And we had gone into the parking garage, and I see something dart in behind us, and it's obviously a person. And I turn around, and this guy had followed us in. And if anyone knows me or knows who I'm dating, like, I love you, Brandon, but not really aggressive looking. Like, if someone saw him and I on the street, like,
give me all your stuff.
Yeah, they could easily make the assumption that they can take us, but I'm fucking nuts, so you can't.
I would believe her if I were you.
No, but so he darts in, and he's like saying he has kidney problems. He's begging us to stay in there. He starts peeing all over something. Ew. It's really wild. And immediately, like, my adrenaline's going because I know what the group of us looks like. So I know you're not in there because you have to pee because there's urinals in that back alley behind District.
You can just pee anywhere you want, pretty much, at that point in time.
So I was like, he's up to something nefarious. And I just, like, he's already in a corner. He's backed himself into a corner. And I just, like, fucking charge at him. And I'm screaming bloody murder. Hopefully, because the gate to the parking garage is literally just a gate so people can hear. And I'm just screaming, and I'm like, get out! Except, like, I'm lowering my voice. I'm like, get out! And I'm like, and I'm like leaving, and I'm like, you want to fucking go? Like, I'm just going nuts. And I'm like, let's fucking go, dude! And he like ran towards the door, and it's one of those wires that you have to step on, and I'm just like, like, just stamp on the wire, and I'm like, let's go. So, I mean,
nice work.
I was really proud, but everyone else was like, dude, what the fuck?
Well, was anybody else gonna do anything?
No. Yeah, Brandon,
we're like, yeah, dude, it's cool. You can just hang out here. It's fine.
No, Ellen, I was very impressed because Ellen is very, like, mild-mannered, the opposite of me. And she was even like, before I stepped in, she was like, dude, this is private property. You need to leave. You're trespassing. You need to get out. And he was arguing with her. So then that's when I, like, rhinocerosed at him. But, like, we had been out drinking. So the boys were kind of like, what the fuck do we do? Like, what the fuck? And
see, booze usually turns everything the other way. You're like, I know exactly what we're going to do. Listen here, motherfucker.
There's 4 of us and one of you.
Get the fuck out of this parking garage now. With a little more slurring.
Yeah, get the fuck out of this parking garage now.
You want to fucking go? You wanna fucking go?
fucking go, bro.
Let's fucking go, bro.
Fucking, you want to taste
Go,
outside?
bro. Let's go, bro.
But
I gotta pee first.
I definitely acted like how.
You acted alpha. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Well, aggro.
Yeah.
Well, I remember. I'm pretty sure it was from a show or something, or I don't know, like something satirical. And someone was like, "You want to know how you get people away from you? You act crazier than they are." And they're like, "I don't want to fucking." So I was like, I was like chimping out. I was like, ooh, ooh,
It makes
like,
sense though. It does make sense.
That guy was like, "Holy shit, this girl's gonna like saw off my face."
I've heard that. I like the fuck. What? It was I Love You Man.
Yeah.
It was like, you mind your buckle. And the guy's like, pick up your dog's shit.
Yeah.
Just runs.
No, exactly. So I was like, I just have to act fucking berserk.
Fuck, I can't remember what that's from. I know I've heard it before.
Right? Yeah. No, it's something from like a movie or a TV show or something satirical. But I hung on to it because I was like, I think you might be onto something.
Well, what did we watch?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Talking movies.
Speaking of really aggressive people,
Yeah,
Will Ferrell
they get stupid
fucking
in this movie.
wild. Yeah.
So we watched The House. It's on Netflix. It was made, hold on.
2017.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it.
No.
Until it came up on the front page of Netflix. I was like, oh, what's The House? Will Ferrell. And I like Jason Mantzoukas. I'm a big Zooks fan. He's hilarious. He's on How Did This Get Made? Like, this is that's where the inspiration for this came from, because I love their podcast. Oh. Yeah, he's also, I don't know if he does stand up or not. I don't think he does. But he's just got, he's had tons of parts in different movies. He was hilarious as the physicist on The Dictator with Sacha Baron Cohen. He was like the bomb is supposed to be pointy. No, it doesn't matter if it's pointy. It's round. It's fine. It'll still explode.
Yeah.
No, it's going to bounce off the ground and come back. His part in that was hilarious.
We're talking about the guy who played Frank, right?
Yes. Like that owned the house where they had the casino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the very few things I will say I liked about this movie was the fact that it was a Big Mouth reunion, because Nick Kroll was in it as the mayor, and then Jason Mantzoukas was in it. And at one point in the movie, we see Nick Kroll making this like mocking face, and the voice that comes out is the voice of, I think her name's Heather in Big Mouth, the blonde one.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
oh my God,
Andrew.
And
I was like, holy shit, that's the face Nick Kroll is making in the sound booth when he's recording for that cartoon. Like,
he does so many voices on that show.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And then when Jason was doing some voices, I heard Jay from Big Mouth, and then I heard some of the like, who does the hormone monster? Is it
Nick Kroll does the hormone monster.
Really?
I'm a hormone monster.
There was a point where Jason sounded
puberty fairy. I'm not a fairy. I'm a hormone monster. I fuck with dudes, but I'm not a fairy.
Come on, baby. Let's have a bubble bar. Changes. I played that song for when I hosted trivia for Name That Tune, and it was
Did anyone get
TV.
it?
Nope. No, actually, a couple people did.
I'm pretty sure I used it when I did trivia before I passed the torch
Yeah?
last spring. And they're like, what is this? I'm like, it's TV theme songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that was on. It might have been on there. Maybe it wasn't. But I did, a bunch of them. People were like, what is this?
Yeah. I'm like, educate yourself.
You have to play to the crowd.
Yeah.
I love when people just got mad. They're like, what are you doing all movie trivia? Because the round is movie trivia.
I know.
We'll do some sports trivia. I'm like, no. I don't want to. I don't want sports trivia. Well, this is unfair. This is stupid. I'm like, cool.
You're like, okay.
Right on.
I'm
glad you like it.
Yeah. You're like, thank you so much. Do you want to sit this round out? Do you need a timeout?
I just stare at people now when they do. Like, I had a customer last night say, and this is day 27. Today was day 27 straight days through. I got next Sunday off. I'm so stoked. It's been good. But I had a guy come in last night. He goes, can I get the mussels, please? He was being nice. I gave him a beer. Like, he was taking his time. I'm like, I have 8 tables, and I'm the bartender as well. And I'm like,
God.
these people are taking forever. So I'm like, wow. And his wife's already ordered. I'm like, fuck, I can't just walk away and come back.
Yeah.
Well, how about the fish and chips? Yeah, fish and chips is good. 1 piece, 2 piece? Well, How big are they? They're regular,
They're standard
this big,
4-ounce pieces, sir.
About this big? Wow, it depends on the shape of the piece.
Depends on the shape of your hands,
And
too.
he goes, wow. And he flips the menu over. I'm like, God damn it. And he's like, maybe. It's after 2 minutes of that, I go over to the other table, and he's like, doing the same thing. I'm like, motherfucker. He goes, well, I'll take a fat tug for starters, and then we'll go from there. I'm like, okay, cool. Go to the bar, get his beer, come back. What can I get you to eat?
Oh, my God.
I'd like to order the mussels. We're actually out of the mussels. We were out of the mussels. Yeah, sir, we're out of the mussels. It says mussels are subject to availability. It's Sunday. It was busy all weekend. We sold a lot of mussels. I didn't say that to him. I said, no, we're out of the mussels. And he goes, well, then let me get a bowl of bisque. I'll figure it out after. I'm like, okay, cool. Bowl of bisque. And I put with bread. We have different bread than usual because we ran out of one bread because restaurants do that too. I guess we run out of fucking bread. So we give him different bread. And I don't take the food to his table. One of the servers does. And she comes back and she goes, oh, that guy at table 61's in a bad mood now. I'm like, why? Because we had different bread. I'm like, what? He's mad about the bread and he's mad about the mussels too. I'm like, oh my God. So he brought the mussels to you too? So I go back over there. She's like, I just want to warn you. He's in a bad mood. I go, cool. 2 minutes. I let him eat a couple spoonfuls and I go over there. I'm like, hey, is everything okay? And he goes, you don't have mussels. You don't have the right bread. What's happening here? And I was looking at him and I go, well, sir, restaurants run out of stuff from time to time. And he goes, all right then. I go, how's your bisque? He's like, it's good. I'm like, cool. Good. I just walk away. I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Oh, my God.
I just don't know what compels a person to come out to a restaurant and be a piece of shit.
That happened yesterday to me.
Yeah?
At the tail end of my
I
shift.
didn't mean to do it, okay?
Yeah.
I was in a bad mood.
I'm just leaving, and I was bartending, and, like, when you're bartending, acting, manager, if anything comes up, or, like, final word, whatever. And one of the servers has this table, and it's like 4:00 almost because I'm off. They came in at like 3. Brunch ends at 2. They both ordered lunch, and they wanted to use a buy one get one free brunch coupon for their lunch. And the server was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Like, we can't do that. That coupon's for brunch." And then the customers immediately got aggro, and were like, "Oh, another server does it for us all the time. It's fine. It doesn't matter." And the server came and got me and told me what happened. And I went over and I was like, "Hey, can I see the coupon?" They show it to me. It says brunch. And I was like,
till 2:00, right?
Yeah.
Like even right on the coupon.
And I was like, "Okay, so you both had lunches. Unfortunately, we can't accommodate this." And then they got super aggro with me and said the same thing. Like, "Oh, this server does it all the time. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter." And I'm like, well, unfortunately, I can't go onto the computer and promo lunch things under the brunch promo.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't add up. I can't do that. But I can call the manager of the restaurant if you want and get a final word on it. Because she, the manager has the authority to override, my call. But this is like my judgment call, you ordered lunch, you can't get it for free with a brunch coupon.
It says, and then, it's right on the coupon.
And
brunch.
Then the lady looks at me and she was like, "You are being really loud right now. You're making a scene. All the tables are looking at me, so just bring me the bill. This is ridiculous." Wow. And I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry, but we can call the manager if you want. Like, if you really want this discount, I can call the manager, get her on the phone, and get an okay or not if we can discount your lunch with a brunch coupon." And then she was like, "Bring the bill." And I was like, "Okay." And then I walked away and she was like, and I'm like, "Okay, scoff, laugh all you want, dude. Like, try to complain about this. Try to complain. We ordered lunch at 3 p.m. after brunch was over and tried to use a BOGO brunch coupon and we couldn't do it. Like, it's not, that's the rules. And you can't go to McDonald's and have a buy one, get one free McMuffin coupon and be like, "I want 2 Big Macs."
Yeah. These are the people we share our resources with.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I know.
Yeah, it's scary. These people drinking our water. I know. Consuming everything we need to live. Idiots. Like, just read the coupon. You look at the coupon and go, "Oh, it says 2:00. It's 3. Well, we'll use it tomorrow. Or maybe next Sunday."
Yeah. I've never understood, like, treating people in the service industry or any industry like shit when you can't get your way.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with like us.
Well, I just,
Like,
I don't
it's
understand.
not necessary.
I don't understand why some people come to a restaurant or a bar or wherever with the full intention of being sacks of shit.
That's true.
Like I go out, with a full intention to be nice to everyone I interact with.
Yeah.
If you're a dick, I'll be a dick back. I'll still be nice to you, and if you keep being a dick, then I'll be a fucking asshole. Like fuck you.
No, like
a
why?
pun?
Yeah. Why can't like? Why can't you just be nice? Oh my god!
If you're going out and going like, man, if somebody fucks something up at this place we go to, I'm gonna fucking tear them a new one. Just stay home.
Yeah.
Just
tear yourself a new one.
Fight with your fucking wife or something. Stay home and yell at your kids.
In the mirror. I've had arguments with myself in the mirror before if I'm feeling really aggressive. And like I don't want to subject other people to it. I'll just be like, I'll start flossing or something, and I'm like,
angry flossing.
Yeah, I'm like, you fucking stupid piece of shit. And I'm just, and then because I'm like looking at myself, like seeing myself talk to myself like that, I'm like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, easy.
And then I'm like, holy shit, like thank God I didn't like go and hang out with other people and subject them to that. Cause like, I don't know, it helps me to see how like despicable and angry and rude I'm being if like I'm doing it to myself in the mirror. Because
I guess that makes sense.
Like, it's the same thing with being an asshole online. Like, everyone thinks they're invincible online because they're behind a computer and they can say as many, like, trashy, mean things as they want, but they never do it to you in person.
I got sucked into reading the comments on someone's post about the anti-abortion laws down in the States. And I'll just briefly, it was some chick said, like, you know, we had a, I don't know what it was. Like we had a baby that was diagnosed as it was not going to live for like longer than a week.
Yeah.
And we got rid of it at the 3-month mark. It was the hardest thing we ever have to do. And this chick starts going like, you're a murderer, blah, blah, blah. And the back and forth between these people, I'm just like, why?
Oh my God.
Like, why do you even bother? And then you click on the profile of the chick that started the whole fight. And you're like, oh, you're a piece of white trash with like 3 kids. You look like you live in squalor. What do you? Oh my God, this makes perfect sense. I can't believe people like. You know how many times in the last 5 years I've read something when I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook less and less. I need to even just cut it right out. There was a point where I've just deleted everybody I don't want to follow or I'm not really friends with, and I just follow acting stuff or entertainment stuff or comedians now. And I'm like, ooh, this really grinds my gears. And I'll go to type something in, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'll get halfway through what I'm writing. I'm like, what is this? What purpose does this serve? Erase. I'm going to go on with my life now because this has no bearing on me at all.
Exactly.
And it's just resisting that urge. You learn to do it, and then it just becomes easy, and you're just like, you just don't bite on people's bullshit. So I guess like I haven't had an argument with myself in the mirror in a while because I haven't been angry at anything or at anybody lately. It's because I don't hang around with people that influence me negatively. I only hang around with positive influences, and
that's good.
Yeah, that's just how it should be. And I try to be a positive influence on other people. If I'm feeling negative, I'll talk it out.
Yeah, like I'll have those discussions with myself, and I'll be like, "Hey, like, what's eating at you?" Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times, like, if I have really despicable interactions with like people or clientele from like a job, I will like say what they said to myself via the mirror, and I'll be like, holy shit, like other people should do this and realize like how disgusting it is to actually see yourself saying those things, you know, to a reflection of yourself, sure, but still you're saying those things to a person. And like, if you're making yourself feel like shit by saying those things that other people have said, like, I don't know. It's been eye-opening for me.
Well, that's cool. I think
it's really embarrassing.
It's just you're developing that self-observation skill in a visual way as opposed to an auditory way. Because like I'm more auditory myself. If I hear myself say something that's mean spirit or something, I'm like, wow.
Then you check yourself.
Yeah,
and
like
you're
why
like,
did I just say that? Or like I'll react to something. Oh, that's fucking bullshit. And then I'll think about it for a second. And go, why is it bullshit? And just think of things more logically these days with less emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a robot, but not a robot or an alien. Okay, let's talk about this stupid movie.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. Like I'm like, did we even mention
Did
about
we?
it? The
Yes,
house.
we did.
Okay,
The
the
house.
synopsis of the house. I wrote it down. After the town takes away their daughter's scholarship, a couple starts an illegal casino to get their money back. Will Ferrell, Amy Poehler, Jason Mantzoukas, 2017, scored. It was rated R too.
What?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
20% and 35%. Yeah.
They did not utilize that
They
rating.
squandered an R rating once again on a movie we reviewed.
Wow.
I can't remember what the last one was. That was R rated. It was squandered.
Oh,
sex tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was it was weird just hearing Will Ferrell swear.
Yeah.
And that's basically what they used the R rating for was Will Ferrell swear.
Yeah.
Like lots of F bombs and I'm like,
And-
which doesn't seem natural coming from Will Ferrell.
No, and watching this movie and like hearing the F bombs from Will Ferrell and like I like Will Ferrell. I liked him on Saturday Night Live. A lot of his early movies were so funny, but watching this and he's still doing that. It's kind of a niche.
Yeah.
And this is, an hour and a half of Will Ferrell acting like a caricature of himself that he always does in movies. And when I was a kid, like hearing in Step Brothers, for example, when Will Ferrell's like, this house is a fucking prison. And like, he's like screaming and swearing. Oh my, that cracked me up.
Oh yeah.
Like, I thought it was the funniest thing ever. But watching it, that type of thing now still, I'm like,
well, we grew out of it. It's the same thing happened with, you watch Jim Carrey stopped doing it though. He did the smart move and he stopped doing it because you watch his old movies from the 90s.
Ace Ventura 1 and 2 still fucking
they're still
crack
good.
me
Yes.
up. Holy
like watching
shit.
like Liar Liar. Oh, Liar was
God.
bad. Like I watch it now, I'm like, ugh.
That was one of my favorite movies as a kid. And then
I
watching
loved
it as an adult, the only part that still really gets me is when he's in the bathroom and he's like, I'm kicking my own ass.
Do you mind? 6'2", big teeth, kind of gangly. A madman, Your Honor. But just that over-the-top acting style. Like, Will Ferrell's was a little less physical. But it was still like an over-the-top
slapstick.
acting style.
Yeah.
And he's done a few more serious roles. Like, I feel like Jim Carrey did a lot more serious roles. But
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
yeah, The Truman Show.
Yes.
And there's
22.
Yeah.
Or 23.
The number
23.
That was a weird movie.
Yeah.
I
Or-
can't remember it at all.
Yeah. You, Me, and Irene. That one.
That one was all right. He put 9 bullets in a prize cow's head. It's amazing the old girl still lived. But yeah, it's just hard. It was hard watching Will Ferrell in this because you're like, okay, you're still just doing the same thing,
Yeah.
which is getting you paid. Like,
Yeah.
can't blame a guy, really.
I think.
It's a layup for him, basically.
Yeah.
and
I think also like his behavior like that in the movie like Step Brothers makes sense because his character in Step Brothers is like a grown-up child, like a man
yeah,
child.
he's playing a child.
But this one, I kept thinking to myself, like, what do you do? Because there were so many aspects of his character that I'm like, you're an adult man and you have a mortgage and a wife and a kid. Like,
Who can't figure out numbers?
Numbers
make him sweat.
Like, what do you do? What career do you have?
Yeah.
Because his career, and we find out that after their daughter's scholarship gets taken away, Amy Poehler's character is like, I need my job back, blah, blah, blah. So it's just his salary coming in and they have this big, beautiful house. Like, what do you do if you can't have anything to do with numbers?
Did they say where they lived?
No, but like looking at shots of their house, like inside and outside, it's a huge house.
Oh, yeah.
In a really like affluent looking suburban neighborhood.
Well,
like
he worked in a skyscraper.
Yeah.
We know that. He was in an office with a view.
Yeah.
And he was like, I quit. And they're like, okay, bye.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand why, him and Amy Poehler can barely afford their mortgage. They can't get a loan. No one will give them a loan.
Yeah.
And he can't do anything with numbers, but they live in such an affluent area. Like,
Yeah, there was no backstory to the characters at all.
No.
Which is pretty silly.
yeah.
Because that's like, we want to care about these characters.
Yeah, like
I don't
I
care
didn't,
about
I didn't
them.
give a shit if their daughter went to fucking university. Who cares? And is Bucknell a real university?
I have no idea. I didn't look.
I didn't either. It doesn't seem real.
The writing in this was ridiculous in some parts.
Yeah.
This was a risky joke. I thought the two friends of the daughter at the backyard party were like, well, you're going to college. You got to be prepared to get date raped.
Oh, my God.
Like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah. And then they were like, what's the difference between date rape and regular rape? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That was so... That kind of felt like they were like if the writers had made that joke in like 2009, 2008 when Will Ferrell was in his prime of like scream cussing and freaking out and overreacting, like it would have definitely gone on way better. But in this like political climate in 2017, I don't know. I was just like, come on. Like you can get your laughs from something other than like discussing comedically the difference between rape and date rape. And the fact that one of her girlfriends was like, well, I think date rape is when you go to a movie, go to dinner and then get raped. Like, Jesus.
They could have went a million different ways with that.
I'm so tired of the tropes of like women being stupid and unaware of what date rape is, or this or that, like
just making them seem like stupid college freshmen.
And the trope of like there can only be one intelligent woman in the friend group, and then you have the like vapid stupid friend that didn't was like, I think date rape is this. And then I feel like, oh my God, we might get like comments at this, but their friend group was like the smart blonde with glasses, the like ditzy brunette, which is, a switch on the stereotype, fine. But they had like a woman of color as one of her friends in the 3 core friend group. But she literally had 2 lines, one about like turning a microscope into a bong and asking if you wanted more weed. Like,
wow. I didn't pick up on that.
Like, don't include characters just for the sake of diversity when you're not going to have a diverse cast.
Kind of stereotyped the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she can make a bong and go get more weed. Like,
yeah, like, just don't.
What is this, like 2003?
Exactly. Like, make smarter choices.
Gonna get you high today, Craig.
Yeah, like.
It's Friday.
Fun.
You ain't got no job. Ugh. So. Oh yeah, I loved the catty wives. So
oh my God.
I look at shit like this and I'm going, wow, all of those people in that council meeting looked unhappy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them all going, they're all married.
Yeah, like
all married.
And that trope is annoying too. Like, yes, lots of, people are unhappy in marriages, sure. Lots of people are unhappy by themselves too.
I'm happy.
Like, I know you are, but I'm happy too. Like,
comfortable. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I've become more aware of this now that we're like doing a podcast and reviewing shitty movies. I'm so tired of the same tropes being replayed in movies, like people in miserable marriages.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, people not being fucking honest with each other.
Yeah,
this was my
too.
biggest problem with this whole movie.
Yeah.
Was that there was no movie. Yeah. Because if these people were just straight up with each other, everything would have been fine.
Yep.
If they had been honest with the daughter, they could have figured something out.
Yeah.
If they had been honest with the daughter, shit wouldn't have gone down at the end.
Yeah.
Just tell them tell Zooks he can't go to Vegas. Tell Frank he can't go to Vegas. Like, they show up to his house and he's like, we're just gonna tell him. We're just gonna tell him. And then he's like, whoa.
They chicken out.
We're gonna like maybe postpone for like a couple weeks. No, guys, we have to go now. It's like, just tell them the truth.
Yeah. And then
we can't afford it because we lost the scholarship, so we need to pay for our daughter's fucking tuition.
Yeah. But no, go to Vegas. And then they go to Vegas, and I did find it funny when like they hit a streak and then
just don't throw a 7.
Yeah. Why would you say that? Yeah, that was good because that
you
to me
fucking asshole. It was just lipping them off.
That to me is accurate because people I've known who like casually gamble, like buy scratch tickets or, gone to a casino. Even my boyfriend's like Christmas party, we had like a makeshift dry casino where, we didn't gamble with actual money. But there are like superstitious people.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, don't what? So that
blow
to
on
me,
these. You didn't blow on the dice. It's a 5.
that to me, I was like, oh my God, that's accurate at least.
I just figure like they were idiots.
Yeah, like walk away. You've already like doubled or tripled your money. And that guy, their friend Frank literally said, one more roll and this is tuition for your daughter.
It's like, so that means tuition was what, $55,000?
Yeah,
so they got 27.5 G's.
Yeah,
So
I would have just keep that and find a way to make the other half or other quarter or whatever.
Well, she could have went and got a job or her job back, whatever it was, and he could have went and found whatever, anything.
And
McDonald's pays $15 an hour to start.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, when she's back in her office trying to get her job, and she was like, if you don't give me my job back, I'm going to like kill myself.
Yeah.
And then her boss is like, are you jerking off a giant? Like, that would not happen in a professional setting.
No, and I didn't get that at all. It didn't seem like that's what she was doing. I'm like, what are you jerking off a giant? She did the noose thing.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows what that is.
And then Will Ferrell asking for a raise from his boss. No, absolutely not.
Instead of being honest with their daughter, he lost his job and she jeopardized getting her job back. Like that's the reality of it. Oh, we can't tell her. I got to walk in there and demand a raise.
And then she finds out anyway.
Yeah.
Like the daughter, they make a promise not to tell her. And then their daughter's like, hey, so I found out my scholarship's gone because it's a town hall thing.
Yeah, they were like, she was going to find out. It just seems so stupid. He has a job with guaranteed income and he goes in there and goes, I demand a raise. And then he quits or gets fired or whatever it is.
Like, this is in the States. Even I know what a 401k is.
Yeah.
And they're talking to their bank lady and he was like, we have $401,000 in here. You missed it. Like, how do you not know 401k?
I don't even know how he has survived this long not understanding numbers.
Like, how do you pay for things? How do you
call people?
Yeah, how do you go?
How do you use a calculator?
Yeah.
Like, how do you read the speedometer?
Yeah.
Numbers make you dizzy. How do you drive?
I know.
Like, it's just the dumbest character trait.
Yeah.
In any movie we've reviewed so far, I think.
Yeah.
This is
actually so unbelievably stupid and nonsensical.
She's like, honey, you know what numbers do to you? I'm like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck? And then he's like in the house at one point and he's like, 1, 2, 3. There are 800 people in here. Like, and he's like, no, there's max like 35. Like, I don't understand that. And
this movie was just unbelievable.
Yeah,
none of it was believable. Like even the conversation, they're in Vegas, they lose their money, and he's like, and Frank goes, the house always wins, and you're like, yep. And then Ferrell goes, well, what if we were the house?
Yeah,
like who says that? Who has ever said that?
Yeah,
except for the person that owns a casino.
Exactly.
We are the house, like,
or someone who is like an avid gambler.
The writing was just terrible.
No.
He's like, oh, wait, let's do this. So then Frank gets them, shows them a giant presentation that he's put together.
Yeah.
When did he take the time to put this presentation together? And is he a computer whiz?
Mm-hmm.
He's a statistician, obviously. So why isn't he working in like the guy should be loaded, should be rich. Yeah, he's betting on stuff. If he's that good, because he obviously is, because he knows all the odds on shit, he should know.
Yeah, we also don't know what he does.
Yeah.
If he does anything, like.
So, okay, it's total sidetrack. Have you seen the dude tearing it up on Jeopardy?
No.
There was a guy on. I've never heard of this. My buddy Blake tells me the other day, he's like, have you seen this guy on Jeopardy? I'm like, no, I don't watch TV, like regular TV. He goes, no, you got to see this guy. He's, so Ken Jennings, way back in the old days, won 73 consecutive games of Jeopardy and won something like 2 or 4, like 2.4 or $4.2 million or something. 73 games straight. This new guy is, hang on, I have to look him up. Okay,
yeah. Because 72 games, is Jeopardy on every day of the week or once a week?
5 days a week.
Okay, so 5 days a week, that's 5 episodes.
So now, this guy, James Holzhauer, now within $325,000 of Ken Jennings' record. So he's only won like 30 some games, And so he's not even half of what Jennings did, and he's almost surpassed him. Because this dude,
Wow.
he studied the odds of where the daily doubles will be. So what he does is so the daily doublers are most likely to fall in like second or third column, fourth row, somewhere around there. It's the probability is higher. So what he does is he plays the 2000s at the bottom and works his way back up. It's because like Jeopardy's always been played historically 2, 4, 6, 8, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he just goes, nope. He goes to the biggest numbers because God just knows everything.
Whoa.
He's like super smart. Like he'll get jacked up to 25 G's and it's like, oh, the daily double. He's like, I'll wager 23,000, Alex.
Wow.
Yeah, and his 95% correct on his daily doubles and 92% on his final Jeopardies. It's insane.
Damn.
He's just like dominating Jeopardy.
I love Jeopardy.
I'm terrible at it. Here. See what this guy is up to now. 28th win, pulls within 325. So yeah, he just walked in with $72,000 in that game.
Holy crap.
Oh yeah, his one-time record is
This is the most
$130,000 in one game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if the people who win money on Jeopardy get taxed. I would imagine,
I think
because
it's big time too, like 40% or something.
Yeah.
It's not cool because they just rip you right off. Because it's like,
so really in that $130,000 game, he walked away with like 70,000
still
after
70,000 for an hour. Oh, I make $70,000 an hour. It's no big deal.
like it's no big deal. I'm just super fucking smart.
Yeah, he's up.
What are
he's
you,
well
wicked
over it.
smart?
Are you fucking wicked smart?
You wicked smart.
You fucking how you like them apples? Hang on, I'm gonna get hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all. I used to play Jeopardy on my phone all the time. I'm kind of okay at it. Just because I know a lot of random shit and I don't know how or why, but a lot of times if Jeopardy has been on, I get enough questions right that it makes me consider going on Jeopardy.
My buddy Blake has a friend who is in like the second or third round for getting his way to the big show.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. That's what I thought was like, oh, you actually know somebody who might be on Jeopardy. I don't know how he did it. We can find out.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are we at? This
So,
stupid.
yeah.
Oh yeah, so we were talking about so they figure out they're gonna make a casino. Mm-hmm. People start showing up.
Yeah.
And they lose some money at the start, and then he starts like once they start making money, he starts adding shit to the casino. Of course, they're like, "Well, what are you doing? Like just sprucing it up, fucking putting a pool in the back." Or he had a pool, but they spruced it up.
Yeah.
And then
put in slot machines.
Yeah, and I was like, "Where the fuck? Hey, where do you get slot machines? Where do you
Yeah,
just go and
where do
buy
you-
slot
yeah.
machines?" I think the gambling people. The
Yeah.
fuck's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Like the people who, like
gambling
for us,
people.
it's BCLC.
Yeah, the commissioners, the lotto commission would
Yeah.
be like, we can't just sell you VLTs. Where are these going? Oh,
Yeah.
they're going to my house. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Like they look like full on ones from an actual casino. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, and then like they're paying staff, and it's like, oh, all right, it's a big house.
Yeah.
You got a lot of activity in there. Like let's say 80 people at once. Nobody on the block says a word.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that.
There's definitely one neighbor that's
There's
like
always one neighbor.
Sister Christian or
Yeah.
someone who doesn't.
They're out there again, Harold.
Yeah, like
Call the police.
and at the very first night opening their casino, these two guys are, like shit talking, and then they start taking bets on a fight.
Oh yeah, the fight.
And, one of the guys gets knocked out, one punch. Mm-hmm. And then the two women who have been fighting for this whole movie start fighting. And at first I was like, oh my God, here we fucking go. It's going to be a classic, like.
It was an epic fight.
I did really appreciate the fact that the fighting wasn't silly slaps. I really, as
They
a viewer,
kicked the shit out of each other.
I appreciated the brutality of how badass these women were, just like fighting each other when the guys beforehand were like
One
one punch down.
The camera work in that fight scene was cool too. I
Yeah.
love the shot going above the walking little
Yes.
balcony up top. I was like, wow, like
That's
this movie had some cool parts to it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it was just...
And then like those classic Rocky shots where they get punched and it's like slow-mo. Yeah. And then they both knock each other out at the same time, so the house wins everything, which I've never understood the rules of gambling. Like, I've gone to a casino a couple times and I would play slots and I would see a bunch of the same fucking fruit, but I wouldn't win. And I'd be like, what the hell?
Slot machines are stupid.
And
I don't get half of them. I've watched buddies play them.
Yeah, and I don't understand a lot of like rules and stuff. The only thing I really get is like blackjack.
That's all I ever play.
Yeah.
Well, blackjack, and if the machines have the double up option, which they used to, but I don't know if any of them do anymore, which is stupid, play jacks or better poker. And that's if you got a pair of jacks or higher, you let's say you bet 2 and you get a pair of jacks or queens or kings or aces, and then it goes like 3 of a kind, like, so that'll be worth 2 for the pair. 3 of a kind is 3, and then like a flush is 5 and a full house is 8, and then
So you double up for...
Well, no, like this is, you're scoring that, and then it'll say like, would you like to double up? You say yes, and what happens is it'll flip one card, it'll show you the dealer has a 4, and you have 4 blank cards here. You have to pick one. So you just pick one. It's like, boom, you have a 7. Bam, you double up from 8 to 16. Would you like to double up again? Yes. And you could, on machines in like Manitoba and Saskatchewan, you could do that. Or like Saskatchewan had red or black, so you had a 50-50 chance of doubling up every time. There was, because like the Manitoba ones would have like, oh, the dealer got an ace. So I'm like, oh, well, fuck, I hit that. And it's like, oh, like there's no ace there. I'm like, well, that's no fair. There should have to be one winner in that 4, but no, they could be like, the dealer got a king, there's no ace. Oh, the dealer had a 3, but you get all 2s. Like, what? Are you fucking joking? So that could happen.
Interesting.
Which is kind of silly, but you could double up pretty damn quick to like,
Yeah.
you know, turn $10 into 400 if you were lucky enough.
Damn.
Yeah, so like I played those games, but they're rigged to, the odds are never in your favor. If you get there, let's say someone has pumped thousands of dollars into the machine and not won for weeks, and you just happen to be walking. It happened to me my first time at a casino.
Oh.
I sat down and I'm like, ooh, video jacks are better poker, and I started playing and doubled up and stuff and made it to about 160. I was like, okay, this feels pretty good on $20, 160 cash out. I went over to the thing and got my money. And as I'm walking past that machine, I'm not joking, I felt like an impulse to go to that machine again. I was like, what the fuck was that? I look at the machine. I'm like, this machine feels lucky to me. It's weird, and I've never had that. I've never had that ever again. And I sat down, put another $20 in, and I made it up to another 160. And all of a sudden, I hit deal, and boom, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't even see the screen yet. And this old guy next to me is like, whoa, you won the jackpot, young blood. I'm like, what? I said, how much? He goes, check your screen. It's 10 to the ace, all spades. They dealt me a royal flush. And I was like, what the holy shit? This is crazy. I said, how much did I win? And he goes, what does it say on the screen there? And I see $1,722. I'm like, what?
Whoa.
I walked in with $40, and I'm walking out like I had the 160 that I'd played. I put 20 back in. So I think I was like 140. Yeah, and then another 160 because I forgot the credits were in there. Then I got the 2100 or 1700.
Wow.
So I go to the thing. They covered that machine up. And I get my cash, and I was like, God damn, put it in my wallet. I'm like, I'll find my friend Adam. He's playing blackjack. I'm like, dude, check this out. And I show him my wallet. He's like, what the fuck happened? I go, I hit the jackpot. And he goes, how much did you win? I'm like, oh, I was like, two G's. He's like, fuck, I'm down 200. I'm like, I'm sorry. And then this lady comes up. She goes, excuse me, sir, you still have credits in that machine. I'm like, oh. I go back there. I still have $160. I'm like,
wow.
Well, let's play it down to like 140. So I played to 140. I'm like, all right, cash out. I go back. She's like, you're back again? I'm like, yup, I'm out of here.
Whoa.
I told my buddy, I said, take me to the bank right now. I was going to put this in there.
Yeah.
I've dropped $1,700 in the bank. I spent the rest at the bar on my group of friends.
Yep.
Just rounds of shots and drinks. And the end of the night, we got any beers? I got 2 already. We need 2 more. Just like 10 more beers, please.
Oh my
God. Didn't care. Just keep the money. Because I'd worked. It was a bar I worked at. So I was like, fuck it. Yeah, like, this is what I need.
I had, the last time I went to a casino with my best friend, we played $3 bet blackjack.
$3 bet blackjack?
Mm-hmm. And I had a really good run, and I bought into the table for like $10, and I left with like $150.
Nice.
So, well, I guess at like my profit was $140, but I was like, oh my God, this never happens to me, because I am the opposite of a rabbit's foot. I'm like a rabbit's ear or a rabbit's butthole. Like, see, I'm not lucky at all.
It's hard not to keep thinking after something like that. You're like, man, I could win all the time. That's when you're like, nope, you're gonna lose it all. Even going in and playing those stupid pull tabs.
Oh my God, yeah.
I probably spent $125 on those pull tabs in the last 6 months. And I've maybe won $150. So I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm up $25, but probably not. Probably at zero or down.
Yeah.
Because I'll go in there lately. I'm like, what's $5? I know I'm just going to waste $5. I'm like, boom. And I open up to 5 and I get $2. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And once in a while I get like a 20. I was like, what am I doing? This is more for that, like, that brief excitement.
Yeah.
Which is a waste of money when you see the stack
I know.
in each slot. And those machines, I'm like, this is insane. It's the house always wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So they're betting. So they after the fight, what happens then?
So after the fight, they start making good money, and then that's when he spruces up the machine.
Yes.
Or the place with machines, not sprucing up the machine.
Is this when they get drunk? They tell the daughter that they're going to be out till like 3 a.m. all the time now?
Oh my God. Yeah. And then she starts like peeing on the lawn. And she's like,
there's no pee. You can hear it. And I'm like, why would they frame it like that when you can obviously see no pee? Mm-hmm. And then why is the stupid kid just hotboxing her bedroom in her parents' place? Like, that's careless. That's so dumb.
Like, oh
go
my
smoke
God,
in the backyard.
My parents are home. Like, it doesn't matter if they were home or not. They'd smell your fucking room later.
Yeah. Like if I smoke weed in a confined space, you're going to smell it everywhere. It's going to drift down the freaking hallway if I smoke in here.
They're sneaking into their own house because they don't want their 17 or 18-year-old daughter to know that they've been drinking and they're drunk. Like,
and then they know that she's upstairs.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you going to avoid it?
Yeah.
Again, no honesty.
And it's so silly. Like, never in my life have my grandparents been like, oh my God, we can't let her know that we're drunk. We can't. Like, adults drink. Like,
yep.
That's
and they're usually like, fuck you, I earned this. That's the way I think about it.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, if I went over to the grocery store earlier so high. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm walking, I'm like, I wear my sunglasses, but I'm like, when I get in there, I'm going to look really high. But I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I've earned this. I'm getting stuff to make tacos. I don't care how I look.
Yeah. And it was just really silly. Like,
well, and then they run into each other in the kitchen, know who each other are, but
and
still insist on screaming.
And why does fucking shoves her friend?
Yeah, Rachel. Sorry, Rachel. Just 2 hands are into the floor. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And why would she scream? She knows who their parents are. This movie was just
and then
so dumb.
So this is like. The next time we see them in their casino, I don't think it's the second night though, and they realize that someone is counting cards with that little device in his hand.
Oh yeah, because they hired security. They have a security guard now and surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
Which later on they don't reference at all. I'm like, you have cameras, you know exactly what's going on.
And then they take him out to the
garage.
I guess
seemed like a garage.
And he's like, you're not going to fucking do anything, like, bitches. And then this is when it goes from the realm of unbelievable to the realm of complete and utter
absurdity.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like flipping them off. His arm is in a, what is that?
Tourniquet? No.
Something that holds wood or some shit.
They just threw rope around him.
Yeah,
they didn't even tie him down. But then
they put his arm in that like thing.
I can't remember. But I just remember like he comes over with the axe and chops his finger off.
Yeah,
I'm not
going
to chop him off. Like I'm not going to do that to him, and it eggs him on enough to finally take a swing at him.
No, Frank and Amy Poehler are fighting over the axe, and then Will Ferrell grabs it, and then like they accidentally chop his finger off.
Oh, it happens so fast.
And then the whole like Will Ferrell screaming and like blood getting into his mouth.
Just sitting right in front of a finger pulsing blood. Like move out of the goddamn way. Like this is.
And then he's like, put it back on. Like
is this? And that was just the stupid attempt at really shitty humor.
Yeah.
Like this isn't even funny. This was this was dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
can it please be over?
Yeah, and it just kept on going.
And then they, like, all of their guests are hearing this screaming, and no one runs or, like, calls the cops or anything. And then...
Helen down the road hasn't called the cops yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, road, they're back.
And then that's the end of the scene. Like, that's it.
Isn't there like
Will Ferrell.
Is there a montage after that, or they have a meeting where
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I got we made this much money, and
Yeah.
people are paying their debts back," and that's when he tells them they've been extending credit.
Yeah.
Or he's been extending credit, and that's when he becomes the butcher and goes collecting money. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, the butcher and the burner.
Yeah, is that where the torch came from? Like,
Yeah.
I think I just zoned out a couple
Yeah.
times in this movie because I'm like, why is she carrying a torch? What's up with the torch? I started to light a smoke with it once, but I'm like, that's not really practical.
No.
carry
And
a
then,
lighter.
yeah, so he goes off and he's walking around all bloody with an axe and then I guess disposes of it in that forest or whatever. And then the cops and the mayor are getting suspicious. And we also find out that the mayor and his secretary or whatever are having an affair.
At the diner there.
Yeah. And then Frank is walking in the forest looking for a roll of money that one of his clients dropped or whatever. And the cop's there.
The only moron cop in town.
Yeah.
Because there's no mention of a police force at all.
No.
Or his boss or anything. No other cop. He's the only cop we see in this whole movie.
The one time we hear about the police force is when in that scene where Frank starts recording him and he's like, I don't feel safe. And the cop has to run away and he's like, there's a disturbance in the police force. But he's the only cop ever to exist in that town ever.
Which, and I made a note. I'm like, this movie could have been wrapped up so quick if they had an actual police officer there.
Yep.
Who was like, no, something's funny. Something's going on. This ain't right. And he just let the mayor waltz into that casino when they broke it up and just take all the money.
Yeah.
Not even batting an eyelash. Like, just like, go ahead, just take it.
Yeah.
It's cool. You can totally bribe me. Like, this cop's just a piece of garbage.
I know. And then, so yeah, they bust up the casino and the mayor steals all of their money. I don't know.
With no warrant. They break in with no warrant. They search for the safes with no warrant, and nobody puts up a fight.
I know.
No one's like, no. We're doing this for fun. It's for charity. Get the fuck out of here and come back with a warrant.
Yeah.
Because they would need to. That would give them time to get rid of all the people for sure.
Yep.
Hide the money and come, and they could be like, no, there's no money here. We're doing this for fun. This is just casino games. That's all it is.
And you would think that if you're running an illegal casino or any illegal operation, you would know your rights with regards to if law enforcement showed up.
Yeah, it seems beyond the capability of these three idiots. That's the unbelievable part. It's like, no, they just don't seem like they could have put this together. Like, Frank does it all, but I'm like, why didn't you? Yeah, how? Why didn't you cover your bases too? Why didn't you figure out what you can and can't get away with?
Yeah.
And loopholes, escape plans. You should always have a fucking backup plan.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I was going to do this. This will be fine. And they flaunt their money around town, like the classic drug dealer mistake, like just spending it. They're out like, we should eat like this every night at fancy restaurants. I'm like, what are you thinking? This movie.
I know. And then so they reopen the casino with no max bet.
And cops aren't keeping an eye out for that for some reason.
And then they reopen the casino where there's no limitation on max bets. Everyone comes back.
And even their daughter. And
and then
friends. She's like, what are you doing? They're like, what are you doing here? Oh, we got invited to this casino.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Jeremy Renner shows up.
Yeah, because he's the like mob boss or whatever, crime boss. He goes to get their daughter, and then Rachel comes in, and they're like, that's our daughter.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, your daughter. And then Will Ferrell fucking two-hand shoves her again.
Again.
And I'm like, oh my God, like, this isn't even like slapstick.
I think someone on this writing crew just thought, oh, it'd be funny if he just pushes somebody randomly.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, totally. Or it was like the director's son, and he's like, God, we got to let him keep it in there.
Yeah.
He really likes it. It's just, it was pointless.
Yeah.
It was so pointless.
And then so Jeremy Renner takes their daughter downstairs and then handcuffs her to himself. And Will Ferrell grabs an axe and he's like, you know what they call me? They call me the butcher. And he's like, yeah, you're gonna fucking cut me up, dude. And he goes to cut the handcuffs in half, but then chops off Jeremy Renner's hand. And then he's like, I'm the butcher. And then Amy Poehler's character comes and is like, I'm the burner. And like takes the oxygen tanks that they have for whatever reason.
Yeah, lights him on fire.
Yeah, and then he gets lit on fire, and then it's that whole like honestly
add to the fire because vodka would put it out. Vodka would not light on fire like that unless it was 90-some%.
Yeah, the sequence of events that happened after reminded me of like Scary Movie, where like
a scene from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Like just kept adding to it, just getting more and more outrageous.
Yeah.
Even rolling him up the carpet. I put him out, and then woof, just burst into flames. I'm like, why did it burst into flames?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the whole house burns down.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And then, and then they commit insurance. Not Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler. Frank and his ex-wife commit insurance fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like they managed to raise the money, I guess, or they gave them some insurance money to send her to school.
Yeah,
it's not really resolved. I watched this morning.
Yeah, I watched it 4 days ago, so it's not as fresh. But I don't think they ever explain how they got the money.
No,
because they drop her off at college, right?
Yeah, she's there.
And oh my god, yeah. There's no.
Oh no, never mind. Oh my god.
What is it?
They go to get the money back from the mayor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the cop changes sides.
Yeah, because Schaefer's the Terminator.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
That was fucking funny.
Dun, 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 dun.
And chases them. Side note, I'm excited for the new Terminator movie because they're pretending.
I just saw a picture of that the other day. Or it was Arnie was like,
Yeah.
I'm from the future, so I can tell you that the teaser trailer is coming in 3 days.
Yeah. And Linda Hamilton is back.
Really? So
Yeah.
what's the story in this one?
This one is taking place right after Judgment Day. So James Cameron's back directing. Nice. They're ignoring the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one in Genesis. So this is just
right after T2.
Right after T2.
Sweet.
I know. I'm so excited. It looks so good.
I have to watch the teaser trailer.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have
Killer.
to review that one when it comes out.
Well, this one was I don't know. It was 90 minutes of just. We've said it already. Will Ferrell being Will Ferrell, but not even in a funny way.
No, just in a tired, annoying,
it just
unbelievable way. There was no story, no character development. Like even in Step Brothers, there was character development.
Yeah.
He goes from a man-child into like a man. Like
he lives as an adult sometimes, and eventually gets his own place and stuff.
Yeah, like it's just.
Yeah, this was just I don't know. You recommended it. I didn't.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw it was on Netflix, the only things I had heard about it were bad things, and I was like, "Okay, this is it.
These are all bad things.
This is going to be our reintroduction into reviewing bad movies because lately we've been doing good ones."
Well, we peppered Titanic 2 in there.
That's true. Fuck.
That movie was
honestly
terrible.
I don't know what was worse, this one or Titanic 2. And
Titanic 2.
I didn't think anything would be as bad as Titanic 2.
Titanic 2 was way worse than this. I'd watch this again if I never had to see Titanic 2 ever again.
That's fair.
I can only find one picture of that stupid movie.
I know.
And it was the boat, like, brrr.
Yeah.
Should have photoshopped my face into it.
Oh my God, your face is the boat.
I'm not that good at it, though. I try. I give this 1 roulette ball out of 10.
I will give this 1 Joker card from the deck.
That's not Joker. What do you think? What do you say we call it there?
Call it deceased.
Everybody knows where to find us. We're on all the things.
We're on all the things.
YouTube and Podbean and Spotify and Apple Tunes. Apple Tunes?
Apple Tunes.
Apple Tunes and Pepsi, please. Apple, iTunes, YouTube, Facebook.
Google.
Yeah. Instagram, Google Play. Yeah. All right, cool. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
This is Real Garbage.